At Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, the Indiana Fever faced the Dallas Wings in a preseason matchup that had the basketball world buzzing. For the first time ever, 3 consecutive #1 overall draft picks, Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers, and Azzi Fudd, shared the court on the same night. All 3 were in uniform, all competing, creating a storyline that felt almost unreal. Fans in Indianapolis showed up in huge numbers, eager to witness this rare moment unfold live. Clark entered the game coming off her preseason return against the New York Liberty, where she had scored 7 points in limited minutes. While she looked slightly out of rhythm, she appeared healthy, active, and clearly building momentum. This matchup presented a stronger challenge and an opportunity to showcase more of her game. On the other side, Paige Bueckers arrived as one of the most hyped rookies in recent memory, coming out of UConn after a national championship run. She looked every bit like a future franchise cornerstone. Meanwhile, Azzi Fudd, the latest #1 pick, was making her long-awaited professional debut after her college career at UConn. The game started quickly, with Fudd getting involved early, though she picked up a foul on the opening possession. Dallas struck first with an early scoring burst, as Bueckers knocked down a deep 3 and Fudd followed with a smooth turnaround jumper to give the Wings an early lead. Indiana responded when Clark ignited the crowd, attacking the baseline for a layup before drilling a deep 3 from the top of the key to swing momentum. Moments later, she forced a turnover and converted it into another fast break basket, flipping the score within seconds and energizing the entire arena. Clark wasn't just scoring, she was impacting every part of the game. Her defensive effort, hustle plays, and ability to control the pace gave Indiana an edge. However, Bueckers continued to answer. She matched Clark shot for shot, scoring efficiently and creating opportunities for her teammates to keep Dallas within reach. The opening quarter turned into an exciting back-and-forth battle between 2 elite guards, with the crowd fully engaged in every possession. Indiana maintained a slight advantage as Clark continued to orchestrate the offense. She set up teammates for easy baskets, knocked down free throws, and capped off the quarter with a deep 3-pointer that brought the crowd to its feet. By the end of the first period, the Fever held the lead, and Clark had already made a significant impact with her scoring and playmaking. In the second quarter, momentum shifted dramatically in favor of Dallas. Bueckers took over the game, hitting multiple tough shots and leading a scoring run that quickly erased Indiana's lead. The Wings found their rhythm offensively, stringing together a series of baskets that pushed their advantage into double digits. Indiana struggled to contain the surge, and the once-energized crowd grew noticeably quieter as Dallas gained control. Despite the run, Clark kept Indiana competitive. Even when her shots weren't consistently falling, she found ways to contribute by attacking the rim and drawing fouls. She repeatedly got to the free throw line, converting efficiently and keeping her team within striking distance. Her persistence ensured that Indiana stayed in the game, even as Dallas carried the momentum through the second quarter. Indiana completely lost its rhythm during a rough stretch in the second quarter, allowing the game to slip away. The Wings took full advantage, building a sizable lead behind Paige Bueckers, who looked dominant and every bit like the rival to Caitlin Clark that Dallas had envisioned. By halftime, Indiana found itself trailing 61-46, with Dallas firmly in control and carrying all the momentum. Coming out of the break, Indiana showed renewed energy and intent. Clark immediately made an impact as a playmaker, setting up Kelsey Mitchell for back-to-back cutting layups to quickly reduce the deficit. Her passing during that stretch was incredibly precise, showcasing elite court vision and decision-making that stood out above everyone else on the floor. She was dictating the pace and creating opportunities with remarkable efficiency. Then, the game took a sudden and concerning turn. During a 3-point attempt, Clark landed awkwardly after contact from Alana Smith, who stepped into her landing space. It was a clear violation, and Clark hit the floor hard, grabbing her leg in visible pain. The entire arena fell silent as she remained down for a moment before eventually getting up with assistance. Fans watched anxiously as she made her way to the bench, receiving a standing ovation. She was later ruled out for the remainder of the game. Afterward, Clark explained that she had landed directly on her kneecap, easing initial fears about a more serious injury. Smith was assessed a flagrant foul on the play, and Clark managed to convert 2 of her free throws before exiting. The moment quickly spread across social media, leaving fans and the entire WNBA community holding their breath. With Clark sidelined, Indiana relied on its supporting cast to keep the game competitive. Players like Grace Berger and Victoria Saxton stepped up with key contributions, while the team tried to chip away at the deficit. However, Dallas maintained control, with Buchers and her teammates continuing to execute effectively. The Wings extended their lead once again, proving too strong on the night despite Indiana's effort to fight back. Indiana never managed to close the gap enough to turn it into a true contest in the final quarter. The fourth period largely belonged to the bench units, as both teams rotated in their reserves. Players like Christy Wallace-Kimbrough continued to create opportunities, while others chipped in from beyond the arc to keep the score respectable. Still, without Caitlin Clark on the floor, Indiana lacked the firepower needed to seriously challenge Dallas. The Wings stayed in control, with Paige Buchers and their supporting cast continuing to execute down the stretch, ultimately securing a comfortable 95-80 victory. In the end, though, the final score wasn't the main focus. All attention shifted to Clark's performance and her injury status. Before exiting, she delivered an outstanding showing, 21 points in just 16 minutes, shooting efficiently from the field from three-point range and the free throw line. It was an impressive display for a player still regaining full rhythm, reinforcing just how impactful she is when healthy and locked in. After the game, Clark reassured reporters that the injury was not serious, explaining that she had simply landed hard on her kneecap. The Fever organization supported that update, confirming there were no structural concerns. Given her recent injury history, that news brought immediate relief to fans and the league as a whole. On the other side, Paige Buchers stood out as a dominant force, especially during the pivotal second quarter. She finished with an efficient scoring performance and looked every bit like the franchise centerpiece Dallas envisioned when drafting her. Her ability to take over stretches of the game played a major role in the Wings' victory. With both teams set to meet again in the regular season opener on May 8th, anticipation is already building. If Clark is fully healthy for that matchup, it promises to be one of the most exciting early games of the season.